Hey, everybody, Al Williamson with LeadingLandlord.com. I'm here with Chad Misseldine, freed up from your 9 to 5. You submitted that letter of resignation, and tell us about how short-term rentals help with that.
I'll tell you, it feels really good, Al. I was two things: a traditional landlord for one. I had several rental properties, cash flowing a couple $100 a piece. But by the time you make an HVAC repair, plumbing repair, really weren't making much money, and at the same time also had have a residential remodeling kind of fix and flip company where we buy houses and repair them. And I think both of those were by themselves a little less fulfilling. On the traditional rental side, again, just if any of your crowd, if any of the landlord crowd has experienced traditional rentals, I mean, they're great. You don't hear much, but you don't make much either. And so it didn't.
Yeah, that's the flip side.
Yeah, great. A great long-term play for us because hey, we're paying the mortgage off, but on a short-term basis, didn't really change our cash flow situation much.
Right.
And so at the same time, when we would do a flip and make some money on it, that was great. But when we weren't flipping properties, we were investing a lot in properties or investing a lot in buying land. And so our bank account was just on a continual slide downwards.
Right.
And we just wanted to change that. We wanted to flip that around. And not only did we want to make more money out of our existing rentals, but we also wanted to have our bank account continually going up with more passive income,
right,
and more cash flow. And so, the rentals have been huge for that.
That's the richest man in Babylon type of thing. You want your purse to keep getting bigger each year.
That's right. Yeah, we wanted to get to where we're putting that money to work and making it work for us, and rather than having to go work and remodel a house to have income. We wanted to have that happening all the time. And I tell you, it's been a journey. I mean, it hasn't been easy, but we've learned a lot along the way. And it's taken a couple of years for us to get where we want it to be. But we've found now that, when we start a unit, we can get it profitable pretty quickly. And we've learned a lot. So,
right. So we met a couple of years ago. We went to breakfast. I can't remember the name of the place, but you were just getting, you didn't have any short-term rentals in, right?
That's right. Yeah, we were just thinking about getting into it, and I was terrified. You spent time actually looking at properties with me, and you asked all the right questions and helped me kind of get a game plan for get going. And I'll be forever grateful, brother.
And there's always that negative, what if? There's always that point we got to step out on faith, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing. There's a lot of people that talk about doing things. There's an old saying that there was 5 frogs sitting on the log. 4 of them decided to jump off. How many frogs were left? And most people say 1, but the reality is all 5. Just because you make a decision, you got to act on it at some point.
Yeah, you got to act on it.
And so, we did that, and we've made some mistakes along the way, but we've learned. You can't learn without stepping out and acting. That's you can learn from other people and avoid some big mistakes, but you can't avoid all the mistakes, and you can't avoid all the risk. So you have to take a risk and step out and make it happen.
So you built up enough, so you had enough passive income to kind of cover give you a base. Is that what happened?
Yeah, we've got it up. One of the things that you coached me on was getting our income level up to a place where we could cover our basic living expenses, and one of those was to have a goal of creating, $1,000 per month with each unit. And so, do 4 or 5 of those at around $1,000. And that's what we've averaged over the last year, per unit. And, that adds up pretty quickly. And so, I'm not out, sailing yachts and flying around the world. So our living expenses are, relatively reasonable. Our house is, almost paid off. And so, it's created an income for us to basically have some of those things paid for, so we can just be free to do really what we want to do. And I'm kind of just about to step into that at this next season of my life. So
I know, I'm so excited for you. You're going to be able to get up. You're going to say, we got that time wealth. We got some, time freedom, which is, I think almost to me is more important than the money part of it.
absolutely. And I come from a ministry background. So I've, worked in a nonprofit for 11 years and loved every minute of it. Still love the organization more than I think anyone could. But how thought for a long time, how great would it be to get to do what we want and not have to take a paycheck for it?
Right.
To be able to use that time to bless people and encourage people and mentor and coach and all those things that you want to do, and not have to, not have to be tied to a one place at one time. And so, yeah, we're really excited about the next steps, and the rentals they've allowed us to do that. At once it was just a kind of a vision of, hey, what if we could do this? And now I'm kind of there, and it's like, wow. I mean, it happened for us in 2 years. So go from no units to starting 5 and having them profitable enough to have basically our living expenses covered. So,
well, Chad, thanks for getting on with me. I wanted to make sure other people see faces of those with time freedom and can be moving around, because you're going to be walking around grocery stores at lunchtime or at 1 o'clock, and people are going to say, man, he should get a job. What's he doing now?
Yeah, I'm gonna have my jammies on walking around.
Yeah, that guy
making money.
Get a job.
Well, and the cool thing is, I'm not the one that's gonna go sit, by the lake all day. I'll stay plenty busy. But what's great is now we have our expenses covered, so we can go out and do ministry. We can go out and do real estate and not have to worry about some of those basic expenses, and just it's time freedom, which I've never really had it before, and I'm a little nervous about it. My wife's like, you're not gonna be around all the time now,
are you kidding?
Yeah. I said, no, I'm gonna be doing stuff still. So,
well, thank you so much. Hey, give some parting words to anyone who's on the fence about Airbnb for landlords.
Yeah, I would say just, if you're thinking about it, the best way to know is just to go try it out and give it a go. Don't spend $50,000, decorating your place. Take Al's advice and, do it inexpensively. Take a risk. The worst thing that can happen is, you get in and you realize it's not as great as you thought it would be. But for us, it's a business that really runs itself now. We don't go to our house as much at all anymore. It is very hands off, and I would say that you should strongly consider trying it out. And you got to just get past those fears. Like, there's so many fears. I think a lot of us have those limiting beliefs too that we agreed on, whether that's about ourselves, whether it's about our future. And you've got to get past those. You've got to get past those fears and those limiting beliefs, those limitations, those even lies that we believe about ourselves. And once you can get past that and start to just, sometimes taking action helps you get past that, because you're forced to work through those. And then, put a plan in place, one step at a time. And, Al's program is going to get you where you need to go. And you've got a great network of people too. I've learned, not to dish on Al, but I've learned just as much from other people in the group that I have from Al. And so maybe not totally true, but there's a lot of great well, people too that have supported us along the way and added their experience. So that's been huge.
Well, I'm thankful for all your contributions to the group, and we'll be watching you, and I'll be working with you on your next steps about how to use all that money wisely. But thanks so much for your time and your inspiration, especially. And I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, sounds good, Al. Thanks.